Hi, my name is Courtney. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. Today we will be moving through an all levels flow. All you'll need is some comfortable clothes, something to practice on, whether that be a mat, blanket, towel, carpet, even your floor might be fine, but you just may want something to pad the knees a little bit, so a blanket, towel, something like that. And we'll go ahead and get started right away on your back. You can have your knees bent. They can be around hip distance, or you can sort of walk them out, allowing the knees to come into touch if that feels okay. Legs can be straight. You can also have soles of the feet together with the knees dropping down towards the floor. Just finding any place that just allows you to find a little bit of stillness in your body. Starting to bring awareness to how things are feeling in your body today on a mental level, physical, emotional. Hands can be by your sides, somewhere on your stomach. I have mine on my hip bones. If you'd like, you can even bring one hand to your stomach, one hand to your heart, bringing more attention to your breath. Not necessarily trying to change or manipulate it in any way, just observing how it's moving through your body today. Starting to breathe just in and out through the nose. Maybe trying to even your inhales and even your exhales. If counting is helpful for you and doesn't get you too much in your head, you can count to 3, maybe 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Doing that a few times on your own. Really feeling a sense of calm and ease with your breath, with your body, with your mind. Hands can come off to the side for a moment if they're not already there. Starting to bend the knees up towards the ceiling. Soles of the feet about hip distance. Let's lift the right leg up. Cross it over the left leg. Squeeze your thighs together. Start to lift your left leg off the floor, coming into supine eagle pose. Eagle pose on your back. So really pushing this right outer edge of your foot in towards your shin, maybe wrapping twice. Arms can reach up overhead and either hug at opposite shoulders or find that second wrap around and bind. Shoulders stay nice and down towards your feet. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, curl everything up, bringing elbows towards knees, knees towards elbows, and back down. Exhale up, inhaling down. 2 more times. Exhale brings you up. Inhale, lower everything down. Exhale, back up. Inhaling down. Unwind the arms, uncross the legs. Let's switch sides, crossing the left thigh over top of the right. Lifting the right leg away from the floor and bringing the baby toe side edge of your foot in towards your shin, maybe wrapping twice if it feels okay on your knees. Arms reach high overhead and cross right elbow over top of left, hugging or binding. Inhale, find some added length here. Exhale, curl everything in towards center. Inhaling back out. Exhale brings you up. Inhaling down. Exhale up. Inhaling down. Last one, exhale up. Inhaling down. Uncrossing. Bringing your knees up. Shins around parallel to the ceiling. Hands reach up overhead. Guide your right arm back as your left leg stretches forward. Inhale up. Exhale opposite. Arm and leg stretch long and back. So while the right arm and left leg move, the left and right limbs stay nice and still. Coming back and switching. Breathing here. One more on each side. Last one with the right and left leg. Last one with the left arm and right leg. I think I just said that. That's fine. Squeezing your legs in towards your chest, wrapping hands around the shins or thighs, or maybe just having your hands off to the side. Taking a moment here for yourself. Move any way that you'd like. You can rock and roll here, or just sort of, you can even just stay still if you'd like. And let's start to rock forward and back, building up some momentum to come up to a seated position briefly and coming right away into tabletop, hips over knees, shoulders somewhat over wrists, but you can walk your hands out a little further so that they're not right at a 90-degree angle if that just feels better as we start to bring more load, more weight into our hands. Starting to move through the spine here. This is something I do every day. I love to move through the back body. So you can start with cat and cow, sinking the belly down to the floor, and then bringing everything up towards the sky, curling everything up and in. You can move back and forth here in this sort of up and down movement, but also please feel free to move side to side, forward and back, around and around. Lots of options here. Breathing into this space, finding those movements that feel really good in your body. And if you find sort of a sweet spot that you just sort of want to pause and stretch like a cat, please feel free to do so. Let's continue with these cat and cow movements, but start to lift the knees up and away from the floor. Pausing here for a second, seeing if you can round like a cat. And sink the belly down, arching through the spine, cow pose. Couple more here with the knees lifted. If this does not feel good in your body, please lower the knees down. One more, arching up towards the ceiling, and then down towards the floor with the belly. Start to send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, pushing through your hands, allowing the shoulder blades to spread down and across your back. Move through your heels. Shift your weight side to side. Allow the head to hang heavy. Coming back to those even inhales, even exhales here. Start to take a peek at your hands, soften your knees even more, and just take a little stroll towards the front of your mat. From there, letting the knees bend even more, let the head hang, the body droop over the legs. And imagine you're sliding up your thighs as you start to roll up and away through the spine, making your way to a stand, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. You can open your eyes or have them closed. Let's cross the left leg over the right. Reach the arms up overhead, grabbing the left wrist, start to reach up and bend over to the right. Coming up, uncrossing the legs, switching sides, crossing the right leg over, reaching for the right wrist, pulling up and over. Coming back up, uncrossing, hands can come to the sides, finding a place where your feet are about hip distance apart. Maybe they're together, maybe they're a little wider, that's fine as well. Start to inhale and reach your arms up overhead, gaze can look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway, hands come to shins or thighs. Exhale, hands reach down, stepping the right leg back, knee comes down to the floor. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, elbows down towards the floor. Take an inhale and open the elbows up even more, chest lifts. Exhale, curling forward, bringing elbows into touch. Inhaling, open, and exhaling to close. Moving with your own breath here. Imagine you're using your arms like a big accordion, and you are the vessel that is allowing the breath to whoosh in and whoosh out of the body. Inhale up, reaching for that left wrist again, pulling up and over to the side. Coming right back up, switching the clasp and over to the left. Arms reach up. Exhale down, stepping back to plank. I won't be doing any chaturangas today, but if you'd like to move through that chaturanga, back bend of your choice, or go straight to downward dog. Knees can also come to the floor as you lower all the way down to the belly, or just halfway. Pull yourself up, baby cobra or upward facing dog, and then making your way responsibly to downward facing dog. Using this as an opportunity to come back to your breath. Bending your knees on your next exhale, looking forward at your hands, walking your way towards them. Once you arrive, lengthening halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up high overhead, and exhale, fold right away back down over the legs. Inhale, reaching the head forward. Exhale, hands down, left leg steps back, knee comes to the floor. Inhaling up. Exhale the elbows down. Let's come back to that accordion movement of inhaling open, exhaling everything in towards each other. You can imagine this once again, sort of like this cat and cow shape, just in a slightly different relationship to gravity. Inhaling at your own time, moving with your own breath as you exhale. All the breath comes in and out through the nose. Inhale, arms up high, reaching for the right wrist, pulling up and over to the left. Coming back up, switching sides, reaching over to the right. Coming up, hands reach down, stepping back to plank. Holding here, flowing or moving straight to downward facing dog. Coming back to your breath here, keep pushing through the heels of your palms, the knuckles, each fingertip pressing down into the floor, pressing your heels down towards the floor, but by no means do they have to actually get there. Inhaling. On your next exhale, bending knees, looking forward, walking, stepping, maybe hopping towards your hands. Inhale, reach the head forward. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, soaring the arms up high, and exhale down by your sides. Let's come, you can stay at the front of your mat. Let's sit right back into Utkatasana, chair pose. Arms can reach up, forward, or across here. Start to lift all 10 toes up off the floor, sitting your hips a little bit further back. And let's test some dexterity here. Let's see what happens when you keep if you keep your big toe lifted and lower all the other little toes down to the floor. And from here, lifting all up. Without knocking the knees together too much, they're still going to want to sort of come in and touch together. Let's see what happens when you just lower the big toes down. Try to keep all the other little guys up. Lifting them all up as if you're playing a tiny little piano. Starting with your little toes, start to lower all the toes down to the floor. Big toe is last. Shifting your weight into your left foot. Peeling your right heel off the floor, crossing over, finding eagle pose once again, same as on the back, but now standing up on one foot. Option to have toes pressing down into the floor, or you can hook and find that double bind once again, crossing left elbow over right, hugging or wrapping. Breathing here. Keep pressing your right baby toe side edge of your foot in towards your left shin as long as it feels okay on your knees. You can stay here or allow the breath to come in, lengthen. Exhale, crouch forward. Crouching eagle. Inhaling up. Uncrossing nice and gracefully and fold forward. Start to slide the hands up, reaching forward halfway. Exhale, hands come down, making your way to plank. From here, let's move straight to downward facing dog. Keep that sort of cat and cow movement as you roll forward and ripple everything back. Lots of breath here. Just allowing the body to move however it's going to move. You can bend your knees or have them straight. Coming into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up high. Exhale, knee in towards your chest, stepping forward, using a hand to help if you'd like. Reach the arms up. Taking a breath here. Start to pull the right thigh back. Left hip comes slightly forward. Taking the banana back a little bit out. Start to knit your ribs in. Maybe the back knee bends and softens slightly. Sit your hips down a little bit heavier. Let's pivot and drop the back heel, making sure that the toes are pointing slightly towards the front of your mat rather than parallel or facing behind you. Let's reach the arms into warrior two. You can look forward, shoulders over the hips. You can sort of shimmy side to side until you sort of feel that stacking through the spine. Pressing your knee towards the baby toe side edge of your foot. Start to straighten your front knee. Hinge your hips back, reach your front arm forward, and allow the hand to fall anywhere on the inside of the leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can look up at your hand, look forward, or look down at the floor. Start to bend through the front knee, allow the elbow to tap down and sweep the arm up overhead. Extended side angle, pressing down through the outer edge of your back foot. Maybe you float your elbow up and away or reach both arms overhead. Coming back up, warrior two. Flipping your front palm, reach up and back. Left hand can softly land on your back leg. And let's revisit those really briefly again. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Tip yourself forward, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Bending the front knee, elbow comes to land or reach both arms overhead. Extended side angle. Inhale up, warrior two. Flipping the front palm, reaching up and back. Reversing your warrior. And then bring your hands down towards your front foot. Slide the foot back to plank. From here, option to flow, moving through that chaturanga, back bend. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. I'm just gonna hold plank. Coming back to your even inhales, even exhales through the nose. As your breath comes in, start to look forward, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Lifting halfway once you get there. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale the arms up high and exhale down by your sides. You can stay near the front of your mat. Let's sit back into that chair pose once again. Arms reach up, forward, cross, or even can come behind you. Whatever feels like you have most space around your neck and that your shoulders aren't right up by your ears. Sit a little bit deeper, a little bit further back. Shifting your weight into your right leg, lifting the left heel off the floor, crossing the legs. Maybe the foot presses down into the floor, floats, or maybe you bind twice. If not, just have the leg encouraging it in towards your standing shin. This time, right elbow crosses left, hugging or wrapping. Ego pose, Garudasana. Holding here, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, crouch forward. Inhaling back up, uncrossing the arms, uncrossing the legs, sit back into your chair and fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, hands come down, stepping back to plank. Sending your hips up to downward facing dog. Find that cat and cow embodiment as you ripple forward and back. Nice and fluid. Imagine ocean waves. Can we just be a little bit more like those ocean waves as you breathe in and breathe out, rolling and rippling and waving through the spine. Pausing in downward dog for a moment. Let's inhale the left leg up. Exhale in towards your chest. Step forward, push through your hands. Use a helping hand if you need it. And inhale the arms up, settling into your high lunge. And so I don't have my back to you. Just gonna switch sides over here. Reaching up, taking a look at your front knee. See that it's not sort of tipping in towards your front, your big toe, but more towards your baby toe. It'll sort of land somewhere in the middle. Pulling the left hip back, right hip forward, bending through the knee. You can allow the back knee to soften. If it allows you to just sort of find a little bit more length through your lower back, keeping your ribs nice and contained. You can even have one hand on your front, one hand on your back to feel this. Opening up towards the side, dropping the back heel once again, just making sure it's slightly forward. And rather than super straightening the back knee, you can now allow it to have a soft bend. Keep the front thigh pressing to the wall behind you. Find that shimmy once again, just so you can find that stacking of shoulders on top of hips. Feeling nice and tall here, nice and strong, nice and proud, warrior two. Start to extend your front leg, press down through the foot, and imagine you're dragging it back towards your back foot without it moving. Hips start to tip, arm reaches forward, allow the hand to fall wherever it lands on the inner leg. Really feel like you're just taking up lots and lots of space here. Starting to bend through the front knee. Allow the elbow to tap onto the thigh, swoop the arm up and overhead, looking up at the inner elbow, in front of you, or maybe down at the floor. Option to float the elbow or reach both arms overhead. Totally up to you. This is extended side angle. Reach the right arm up and back, coming into warrior two, flipping your front palm and coming into an exalted warrior. Keep a nice bend through the front knee. These poses are all good friends now, so let's go and just revisit them briefly. Straighten the front leg, tip forward, coming into Trikonasana, saying hello, and moving right away, bending the knee, extended side angle, reach the top arm overhead, allowing the elbow to rest on the knee or on the thigh or lift overhead. Coming up, warrior two, flipping the front palm, reversing your warrior. Windmilling the hands down to the floor, coming into plank. Option to flow through your chaturanga here, move all the way to your belly, hold, or move straight to downward dog. Coming back to your breath here, seeing how your body is feeling now that we've hopefully built a little bit of heat. I know I am sweating right now. Looking forward, bending the knees, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen once you arrive, and exhale to fold. Inhale the arms up high, and exhale down by your sides. I'm just gonna walk back to what I usually have as the front of my mat. Start to inhale the arms up. Exhale, tipping forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lifts you up halfway. Exhale, hands come down, stepping to plank. Optional flow here through your chaturanga. Upward dog will all meet in downward facing dog. Breath comes in as you lift your right leg up, allowing the hip to open up. You can bend the knee or keep the leg straight. Bending your knee in towards your chest, stepping forward, reaching up, dropping the back heel right away, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, tip, and come back into your triangle pose. Exhale, elbow comes down, arm reaches up. Let's start to look down at the floor. Imagine you're looking a little bit in front of you. Start to bring your weight even more forward, reach your hand down. Maybe the back toes start to lift up, coming into half moon. This is where you can reach down for the floor. If you're sort of toppling all over the place, it's totally fine. Sometimes it's fun to practice without the support of something on the floor, really just balancing on one foot, even though it's really tough. Reach your hands down and up. Back foot pressing into an invisible wall. Reach the foot back down, warrior two. Hands come to the floor to frame the front foot, step back to plank. Shifting your hips up and back to downward facing dog or moving through your flow. Inhale the left leg up high. Exhale in towards the chest, stepping forward. When you're ready, coming right up, dropping the back heel, warrior two. Extending the front leg, shifting the hips back, left arm reaches forward. Coming into a brief triangle. Bending the front knee, extended side angle. You can reach the arm up and overhead. Once again, looking forward a little bit further, maybe a foot or two in front of your foot. Reaching for that spot. Sliding the foot up. Reaching the back leg back. Foot and arm down. Other arm up, open through the shoulders. Reaching back, warrior two. Cartwheeling the arms down, stepping back to plank, holding here, flowing or moving straight to downward dog. Coming forward into plank and lowering all the way down to the belly. Reaching your hands alongside you here, forehead can be down on the floor. I'm just keeping it lifted so I'm not super muffled. Start to reach your hands back, point your toes, lift the shoulders and part of your chest away from the floor. Hands can stay down or start to float up, up and away. Maybe the feet join in or they can stay right where they are. Coming into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Looking a little bit in front of you, but sort of continuing with a soft line in the neck rather than looking way up. Creating a nice long arc with the spine. Breathing here. And soften everything down to the floor. You can bring your hands and stack them in front of you. Letting your hips shift side to side, or maybe bending the knees and just allowing the heels to drop to one side and windshield wiper over to the other. Coming up, you can keep your feet together, widen the knees, but we'll make our way to child's pose either way, whoever is most comfortable for you to get there. You can reach your arms forward. Knees can be nice and wide or closer together. You can reach the hands back behind you and really curl in if you'd like. Maybe nodding the head side to side just to sort of caress your forehead against your mat. Slowly rolling up to a seated position, shifting off to one side, and coming to bring your legs out in front of you. You can face me if you'd like for this. If you'd like a little bit of added height, you can grab a blanket, roll it up a few times, and just sit so that you're sort of pouring off the edge of it. So we'll keep our right leg sort of out to the side for this. Come to bring your left leg in. Reach your arms up overhead, flex your right toes up towards the ceiling. And from here, let's lift up and twist over to the leg and reach down, folding over. And you can choose to stay right here, or if you're feeling a little flowy, you can start to open up, side bend. And then let's sway everything up and over, rolling onto your left shin. Sweep your right arm up, coming into gate pose. You can stay here as long as you like, relishing in this luxurious, stretchy, open, spacious pose. Lowering the hips down, reach the right arm back over, coming into that side bend and closing down. Choosing to do that maybe 2 more times or finding anywhere that you just want to find some stillness. If you're moving, you can open up, breathe over, arcing the hand down and up, holding or moving right out of this as you reach all the way forward and back, open to the side and fold forward. Opening or holding wherever you are, arcing over and up, lowering down, sweeping back over and folding. Slowly rolling up, and let's switch sides. Right leg comes in, left leg out to the side, arms reach up, pressing your sit bones down, flexing your toes up towards the ceiling. Grow an inch as you rotate towards your leg, and if it feels okay folding forward, you can always just stay right here as well. Breathing for a moment, you can just stay right here as long as you'd like, or open up, stretching through the right side of your body. Reaching your right arm up and over your left arm, down and up. You can hold here or move out of this right away if it doesn't feel super great. And just really taking this time to move the body, hold poses, really whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna do that 2 more times, opening up. Reaching up to stretch over and yawn the opposite side of my body open, lowering the hips down, coming right back into that side bend, and turning in towards the leg, folding. Last time, opening up, reaching up and over, lifting, reaching, creating lots of space in the body, and forward, up, and down. Coming back up, bringing both feet in front of you. Once again, reaching for the backs of your thighs, lean back. Gently pull the backs of your legs to just sort of find a nicely long lower back. And then once we've done this, if you're like me, my ribs are now flaring, keep that length in your spine and try to knit the ribs together. So challenging. Core already on fire. You can stay right here, maybe lift one or both feet up. Boat pose, Navasana. Maybe reaching the hands forward. If you're feeling really adventurous, you can straighten one or both of your legs. I am totally happy right here, right now. Breathing, building and stoking that inner heat, fiery discipline, tapas, not the food. Lowering the legs down. Take a moment to just sort of roll in, bring your head in towards your knees. Lowering down to your back. Let's try to do this as slowly as possible. Super slow. When you get to that point, you know, when you just kind of want to like, down into the floor, try to slow it down even more. This is my spot. Ooh, I'm vibrating. Super shaky. Take a moment for yourself. See how the body's feeling. Do a little self-assessment, a little self-scan. But really just, let's look for the positive things. Let's look for these positive emotions, positive sensations that are coming up as these endorphins flow throughout the body. Let's bend the knees, hugging them in towards the chest. If you'd like, you can stay here, or you can straighten both legs up towards the ceiling and just give it a shake. Just shake it all out. You can even shake the arms, shake the head, just shake it all out. Knees come in towards the chest. Arms can come out to the side. Let's tip both knees over to the right. And with your left arm, let's start to circle it up and overhead. Giving yourself a little squeeze, holding your own hand. Unclasping and sliding the left hand back over. Looking over at the hand as you reach towards whatever is in front of you on your left side. Coming back over, nodding the head over to the right, giving yourself a little squeeze. Opening back up and over, reaching the left arm, and then just taking a moment to soften here, to ground through the body. Drawing the knees up through center and letting them drop over to the left. And then let's sweep the right arm up and over, meeting the left hand, give it a squeeze, reassurance, and then pull the right arm back over, reaching with the right hand, looking out at your hand. One more, circle it sleepily over. Say hello to the left hand, give it a little squeeze, and then reach the arm up and back, open. Reach through the right hand, look over at it if it feels okay in your neck. Maybe the eyes start to soften. Drawing the knees back to heart. Taking a moment here to find any movements, any postures that you feel would complete your practice today, or feel free to keep on moving, giving yourself a bit of self-practice time. And whenever you're ready, preparing for your Shavasana. Legs can be wherever they like. They do not have to be straight. You can be on your stomach, or maybe today you decide to come to a seated meditation. Whatever works for you. Just please give yourself a moment of rest. Thank you so much for joining me today for this all levels flow. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment if you have a YouTube channel. Please share with your friends if you enjoyed it. Share on your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever else. And this is a sort of a tough time for yoga teachers, so if you do feel called to donate for any of my offerings, I'll leave my email that you can e-transfer or whatever, or don't at all. This is sort of a pay what you can, but also free offering, so do whatever you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of your day, or have a lovely evening, depending on what time you are practicing today. Hands can come to heart or just in your lap, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a breath in. And a breath out. Namaste.